That's Minister Pakstow. They're testing positive for COVID-19, and these days.
Hi fam. I saw the video already, but I see a lot of you are sending it to me regardless, for my obviously opinion. Guys, remember we spoke about this. Even this year, the flu season started around April, and when it started, I made a video on this. I spoke about this, and I've been doing a lot of medical education in the space, and I would always go live when I do those medical education among healthcare workers. But just to say, Resp season is a flu season, right? And we normally see it in South Africa during our winter. It normally starts between April up to August. Sometimes it crosses to spring, and the peak of that season is normally around June. That's when it's the highest. So basically, it is an outbreak that occurs, is a flu outbreak that happens every time during winter. It's nothing new. I'm sure you all know about it. So there are viruses, right, that are causing everyone to get sick at the same time. Therefore, most people will be seeking medical attention at the same time, and everyone will be sick from flu at the same time during winter, because we are not open up to ventilation. We are in closed doors, and we come closer to each other because of the cold weather. For that reason, these Resp viruses, they therefore get transmitted easier among us. That's why we all get sick at the same time. We know that the schools get to have outbreaks as well. Every kiddie will be sick. The children will bring the sicknesses at home, vice versa, and the daycares as well, the crutches. So it's nothing new. And what's nice about surveillance is that it gives us data whereby we know when the season starts. I did tell you that it's from around April up to August, although it can cross to spring, right? And it peaks in June. So it's the data that we have. It's nothing. So because we are monitoring these diseases, we know when to expect it. What's nice about epidemiology is that we are monitoring the trends of disease, right? And therefore we are able to now predict the occurrence. When are they gonna occur? At what threshold will it be? When is it gonna be peaking? When is it gonna be better? So we have that information already. So it's nothing new. Among the viruses that are causing the Resp season, are causing everyone to be sick at the same point in time during the winter season or the Resp season, is SARS-CoV-2, the COVID-19 virus, right? Flu A and B, as well as RSV. Those three viruses are the ones that are causing the flu season outbreaks. Those three viruses. RSV is mostly common among babies, or it's causing more severe disease among babies, so the pediatrician would relate. And if flu A and B is the one that is causing more severe, more diseases among even adults. And whereas SARS-CoV-2, it's been circulating at the lowest compared to the other two, but it's been there. It is not going to go anywhere. It's been here since 2019. We thought what's the term, herd immunity, but it was not applicable, as it's not applicable to your flu or your RSV, even the SARS-CoV-2. Herd immunity is not really applicable because it's a recurring infection. It evolves quite rapidly. That's why we're getting our flu vaccines just beginning of the Resp season for us to get protected against the most common flu viruses variants that will be circulating in that particular year. But we don't say we got it lifelong. We got it once off and we're not getting flu vaccine again. We get it constantly every single year, because the viruses, they changes over time. Their evolution is rapid for your flu A and B, as well as your COVID-19. So you cannot say you vaccinated once off. That's why we're getting our flu vaccine every single year. And there are people that needs to be tested, like Minister Pakstow was tested, right? There are people that needs to be tested during the Resp season. It's really recommended by the guidelines, like pregnant women, extremes of age, people that are elderly, more than the 60 years of age, and those that are little, the babies, especially in neonates, although babies under 5, and then people with comorbidities, people that have immune system that is suppressed, people that are on organ transplant, people that are those that are the kidney people, the ones that are keeping like kidney transplant people, and so those are the group of people that we are most worried about during Resp season, because you know that flu is flu, right? Even with your SARS-CoV-2, among majority of the people, 80% of the population, they don't get sick that they need medical care, so they can conquer it themselves, you know. But those group of people that I spoke about, that I just mentioned, those are the people that needs to be tested. Why? Because there's a treatment that's given if a person has flu, and then there's obviously clinical actions that is taken if a person has RSV or SARS-CoV-2. So you need to know which virus you're dealing with to know what clinical action to be taken. For instance, there's antivirals that they normally give to the flu A and B people, and it has to be given within like 48 hours of the onset of symptoms for it to be optimally effective, right? So you need to have been tested as soon as possible. And with a test, obviously, that is good enough to pick up the actual cases, even if you're incubating or it's the beginning of the disease. For the fact that you might have a very low viral load, it shouldn't be saying you are negative, you know. So the quality of the test matters. How quick you're getting your results matters. You need to get them within few hours so that you can take the clinical action, ideally at the same consultation. In that casualty, they need to know how are they isolating. Remember, if you have something that's transmissible, you're going to make others sick as well, and they came for their own sicknesses. If they contract yours, then they're going to have multiple sicknesses at the same time. Other people can actually die. So that's why the casualties or the hospitals and the medical team, they would need to know what are they dealing with, especially among the three viruses that we know they co-circulate at the same time. Their signs and symptoms are similar, so you cannot clinically or with your suspicion say this is definitely RSV, this is definitely flu, or you know. And we did say among those key population, we want to know what we're dealing with to inform the next clinical action, right? So I'm here to just emphasize to say test. He is known because he tested, but there's many others that are walking around with their SARS-CoV-2, flu A and B and RSV without being known because they haven't tested. You would know only if you're tested. And don't worry, it's flu season. Everyone got it. I've gotten it. I'm just coming out of my flu now, and it's still here. You're gonna get your reinfections not unless you're vaccinated, and the strain that's circulating, maybe you're vaccinated against that particular strain, you may be protected. You won't get severe disease. We don't expect you to succumb from it, right? But to say you are vaccinated, it doesn't cover you 100% because you may still be infected by the strains that are not covered by the current formula of the vaccine. The formula of the vaccine, it will be covering the common variants, but there's too many other variants. I did tell you that these viruses, they replicate, they evolve and they changing repeatedly, right? So that's it. I just wanted to say it's not out. It is not new. There is no propaganda. Government is not doing nothing. This is just that they picked up that he has SARS-CoV-2, and it is, I think, is an opportunity to raise that awareness again, to say, guys, it's still here. It's a flu season. It's expected. Everyone is going to be exposed. Everyone is already exposed. People are going to be sick. We are all going to be sick, but not all of us will have severe disease. Not all of us will be succumbing from SARS-CoV-2, RSV, and flu A and B. But the key population that I spoke about, those are the people that are vulnerable to severe disease and they succumb. By the way, as I close, every year RSV causes about approximately 700 deaths among children under 5. Flu A and B is causing around 11,000 people that are dying. These are adults that are dying in South Africa because of flu A and B every single year. So it is not just flu to everybody. It matters. We need testing first, and a test that is high quality and a test that gives you results almost like within the same consultation, the quickest turnaround time within an hour or two, so that the medical team can take the informed decision, the next clinical action, and they can isolate you if you have something that may be transmitting to others. And testing, clinical action, treatment, medical attention, if you are among especially those key population I spoke about. I'll repeat them again: pregnant women, people with comorbidities, with pre-existing medical conditions, people with transplants, extremes of age, people that are too old, more than 60 years, or are too young, less than 5 years, especially the neonates. You know, so those are the people that we worry about in the context of flu, because those are the people data shows us that when they get flu, it gets to be severe to them. Others are getting to succumb, because we wanted to know among those people that I said they die every year from flu and RSV, for instance, and even SARS-CoV-2, what are those people? And those are the key people that I just mentioned that needs testing and accurate treatment, immediate treatment, so that we can save them from succumbing or from even getting severe disease. I hope it makes sense.